Hi, this is Brad with Baker County Trash Pickup. Today, I am several hours south of my home looking at some juicy garbage trucks. Now, I'm not buying anything today. I just want to see one specific truck. And there's a few different reasons for it. If you don't care about that and you just want to see the truck, jump to this timestamp. But I do feel like I want to explain why I'm thinking about getting a truck so that you folks can either say, yeah, that makes sense, or no, you're dumb, which I very well might be. So in the past, I think what I talked about was that this truck, not this truck, but getting a garbage truck would be something that was a few years down the road, and it would be an automated side loader, something I could just run the whole route myself and it lifts the garbage cans for me. A lot of folks in the comments said that's not a bad idea, but what you may want to look at first is more like a rear loader. They are cheaper and they'll let you be a lot more efficient than the manual dump trailer that you're using now. So I was like, I don't know if I want to, like, if I'm going to save up $160,000 for a rear load, doesn't it make more sense just to save up a little bit more to get a side load? It's not a little bit more, it's a lot more, but that's kind of what I was thinking. But there are several things that I now see that make me think I want a rear load truck sooner rather than later. The first one is this. Last week, which I believe is week number 9, we had, and I'm sorry for the road noise, this is a very busy location. Last week we had, I want to say, 28 stops, and that trailer that we're pulling, the 7x14, was almost full. Now I can get around that, you know, for another couple cans by building up the sidewalls a little bit taller. But in the past week, I started advertising just 36 bucks a month, no deposits, you don't have to pay in full. And in the past week, we have added, I think, 14 cans because of that promotion. 12 or 13 customers and 14 cans. So I think I found the magic sauce. We're also giving away some free months of service too, depending on what situation is yours. So I think I found the pricing that is now getting people to respond a lot quicker than the 1 or 2 cans I was used to placing per week. So I'm gonna outgrow what I currently have much quicker, which for now, that just means extra trips to the dump. Long term, it's gonna mean a second day if I can put 200 cans out, which is the amount that I have. So that's one reason why I think I want a truck sooner. The other is, I talked about this in a video or two in the past, but I'm ashamed to admit that I didn't think about the math of those liners at 200 cans. If the liners are 75 cents a piece that I'm using, then one weekly route of 200 cans will cost $150. So I'm gonna be spending $600 or $750 a month just on liners that don't do anything for me. I mean, they make the trash collection easier, but if I had a truck and could get rid of those liners, I'm gonna be spending $600 or $700 a month anyways on liners. Why not put that towards a truck? That's another reason. The third reason is there's a place close to me in Tampa where I'm at, RDK Truck Sales. I've been following pricing on trucks for a while, and while I'm not opposed to used, there's 2 things I'm seeing. Super clapped out things on Facebook that are a good price but are not work ready. Here's an example of a rear load that could work for me, 30 grand. That's basically nothing. But there's an issue with a brake booster. So what other kind of issues are there that I don't know about on that? And do I know enough to fix a brake booster? Could I even drive it from South Carolina where it is? Those are the kind of issues I'm seeing with used. A lot of the auction places, they don't have under CDL trucks. They've got a lot of trucks that you need a CDL for, and I don't have one, so that's another downside. So then it comes to buying new, and that's what I've been looking at, tracking prices. And for 8-yard rear loads, $150, $160 is kind of the standard before tax pricing that I've seen. Here's a listing of somebody selling one for $200,000. So the pricing, it kind of varies pretty wildly. But currently, there are some 2023 and 2024 Isuzu Pac-Mac 8-yard rear loaders that are on sale for $125,000. So I was like, okay, so after tax, they're gonna add a whole bunch of fees on. It's gonna be over like $150,000 by the time it's done. But the fees were like, I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm gonna put them on the screen. But I feel like it was less than $1,000, and it might have even been closer to $500. All there was sales tax. So it was like $134 out the door for one of these. So then I'm like, if I wait a few months to buy one because I'm not ready right now, and they're back up to $145,000, well, that's $20,000 that I will have to spend then, that if I bought it now, I won't have to. Even though my business isn't big enough to justify a truck, I'm confident it will grow to. So those are the kind of the things I'm weighing out. So I'm not making any decisions on buying one today. I just want to see the truck, see how it operates, and take you guys along. So this is an example of what we would be looking at. This is a Pac-Mac 8-yard rear load, and it is mounted on an Isuzu cab, an NRR, which is, they've got different model numbers. Usually they'll refer to the carry capacity of them. So I want to say the NRR is something like a 19.5 GVRW, which means I could drive this without a CDL. Kind of not the greatest camera angles because everything's tucked in here real tight. Pac-Mac is the brand that makes these rear load bodies. You've got your hydraulic reservoir. This is what powers all the pistons, the hydraulic pistons that make this thing work. This is the reservoir tank for it, and you've got a nice little sight glass. You've got a shut-off valve here. I would assume that's so if you need to undo that hose, you don't waste all your stuff. Looks like we've got an air filter here. I don't know if this is windshield washer fluid. No, cooling system right here. Power steering fluid. I like that those things are out in the open so you can see them. So this is a cab over engine, which that's why it's got a flat front. That one, the engine is in front of where you sit. Here, the engine is under where you sit. Over here on the other side, this is it locked? Nope, just sticky. This is the packer blade that pushes all this stuff during your route, and then when you get to the landfill, this is what pushes everything out. You crawl through here to clean out around it. Like you can see how there's all water sitting in everything. Trash will get all back here and will need to be cleaned out. So that's just an access door for that. These are steps so you can get up there. Here's your battery. So you got 2 wheels on each side back there. That's part of the suspension for the body. So when it jumps up and down, so I guess rather than being bolted 100% down, it's got a little bit of give up and down as it's riding down the road. I'm assuming there's one of those on each of the corners. Here is your DEF tank, diesel exhaust fluid. You've got a little sight glass. You got a sight glass right there for it, or sight tube, I should say. This looks like a diesel. This looks like a diesel fuel filter. What is this? You've got, oh, that might be a battery tender. You plug that in and that runs to your battery system maybe. Could also be an engine heater, a block heater, I'm not sure. Fuse box. These are your packer controls. You've got an ejector. So this guy will move the ejector plate, which is this big thing. It'll move it that way or this way, depending on what side you move it. This bottom one raises or lowers the tailgate. So you push it away, it'll push the tailgate away. Pull it towards you, the tailgate will come down. So when you're at the landfill, all you really have to do is step out here a couple steps and run these guys. Looks like where they can run hard lines, they are. Where they have to run soft lines, they've got those. You can see there it connects back to your hydraulic tank. I'm guessing the thing on top might be the pump, I'm not sure. You know what, this actually might be the return, so maybe that's a hydraulic filter in there, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna do it because I don't know how, but if you pull these guys, you'll unlock the cab and the whole cab will rotate forward, and then you can see the engine, you got better access to it. Looks like your engine oil dipstick is right there, so that's pretty easy to reach for all your pre-trip inspection stuff. Maybe, you know what, maybe that's the transmission dipstick, I'm not sure. Yeah, for the pre-trip, I'm not sure where the engine oil would be checked, but maybe you'd have to raise the cab or not, I don't know yet. So that's pretty much it on this side. Here's your diesel fuel fill. That's where you fill everything up. Oh look, no, there's no springs back here. That's just a solid bolt. So I don't know what the idea is of why to have it there. I believe this is to keep the tailgate from coming out. Looks like somebody might have forgotten when it was in there. I do like that you've got your grease locations marked with stickers. Oh, right there. Grease location there, grease location there. Who knows how long those stickers will hold up, especially if I'm pressure washing this to clean it. But this little guy is a safety stop. So if you raise this tailgate, you'll be able to lift this up, and I don't know where you'll hook it. You'll put it in somewhere. Then you can lower the tailgate and it'll stay. So that way, if you need to hold it open or you need to get in there, you can. And if the hydraulic system fails, it won't kill you. Here's a little stand. You can stand while you're picking up the trash. That's for only if you're in the neighborhood, right? 10 miles an hour max. Little signal. I can't hear if that's doing anything. The battery disconnect might even be on in this, but I'm assuming that's some kind of a buzzer just to let them know you're good to go, or hey, wait, don't kill me. So you can get yourself killed with these things. So a little bit more you got to pay attention to than a dump trailer. Looks like you've got side work lights there. That'll be nice because eventually we will have to start working in the dark. Another grease location up there. It looks like that's all of them back here. You've got a cart tipper, grease location there, and there. This one's real important to make sure it's greased because of how much it's going to be working. But that'll be real nice. I won't have to lift trash anymore. So you've got tipper controls there. I'm assuming pull it towards you to lift it up, push it away from you to push it down. And then you've got a slide and packer controls. One of them will open and close this portion of it, and the other will raise and lower this portion. We're trying to figure out how to get this thing started right now. But it doesn't look like the battery's dead, but it's not turning over. We're trying to see if a PTO is on. It's a little difficult. There's a PTO sticker, but it's next to like a door lock switch and some kind of traction control looking button. And we've pressed and depressed them and it's still not kicking on, so we don't really know. But you've got a couple more work lights here. Here's your backup camera. There's your backup camera there. Looks like there's a light for a license plate. More grease locations, each one of those pistons, so greasing it will be something that takes some time, but that's okay. This is the hopper where all the trash sits, so this guy will scoop it in, and there is a plug down there, a drain, but you can see that depending on the slope, you can still have some water that's captured. Another work light over here, another safety bracket, some more grease points, emergency stop. You've got a fast idle, not 100% sure what that does, but probably will. Oh, might be doing something. Let me make sure that pin isn't in. Yeah, I left it hanging. I didn't know if that was a tailgate alarm or not. I would assume the fast idle is for if you're parked or maybe in neutral and you push that, you'll get better hydraulic controls. I don't know how that works if you've got somebody driving it for you. Looks like here's your exhaust system with a heat shield and not too much. There's another one of those springs up front. I don't know what those red bolts do, but probably wouldn't touch them. Got some side marker lights here.
I'm over here on right there, I'm guessing. Correct. And you're gonna be there when I get you. Nope, I'm here. Okay, I'll be there in a minute. All right, thanks. Good time.
Pretty easy to get into.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's got a nice low step. Oh, that's a fuse panel. I thought that was like a cup holder or something.
Right here, where it says work line. I think this is the PTO where we got it listed as a
work light. Okay.
I think that's the PTO front seat.
Yeah, that's nice.
If when the kids get bigger, you can start training them.
That's it. We've also got a cat that likes to drive with us some places, so maybe we'll bring her along. Does this turn your AC on or off?
Yeah.
Your compressor, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see how that works right about now.
Yeah, that's you got a lot of visibility out here.
Yeah, that's what I like about these little ones. You got a lot of visibility.
Is this a battery tender or is that an engine block heater?
That's the engine block.
Yeah, okay. Heater. Not much call for that around these parts.
No, not around these parts.
All right, so it's pretty hot already. I think we're not at 9 o'clock yet. No, we gotta be, yeah, it's 9:30. It's probably close to 90 degrees too. Unfortunately, that Pac-Mac won't start. Well, to be fair, it's an Isuzu that won't start, not the Pac-Mac. What we're in now is another Isuzu with a new way body. It's kind of the same thing. But if you look over here, there's a big difference. So we've got a real clear PTO on or off switch here, accelerator, work lights, strobe lights, and a couple of warnings. So that's pretty nice, and that's on a new way. But if we look over at the Isuzu Pac-Mac we were just in, what we find is not quite as nice a setup. Now in the Isuzu from Pac-Mac, we see those are just cubbies that you don't use. And over here, they've got a PTO sticker. The salesman who's helping me, we have tried every single one of these buttons. This is the door lock button. And it does operate the door locks. So the PTO sticker here doesn't mean there. This is your light dimmer. Thought it was this guy here, but it won't start whether it's on or off. Looks like somebody cut out a little bit too much there. They got excited with their X-Acto blade. So they're gonna try and find the key to the new way Isuzu, just so I can drive one of the Isuzus, you know. These Isuzus are pretty easy to get into. There's a handle here, there's a handle here. I think you can use this as a handle, and there's your step down there. So that's not too bad. It is a couple feet off the ground, but at least for me, it's not too bad. And then you can pull yourself up. I'm pulling myself up right there. Then you get in. You've got a lever here to lower this seat. It can be a tray or it can be a seat. Got some, I'm sure that's road safety. You got a fire extinguisher. I don't know what this is. Is this somebody's opium stash? No, it's a hydraulic fitting. You see that flips up to be a third seat. Oh goodness. Woo, Bessie, it's hot. Still waiting on the key, but looks like here's your windshield washer. gonna have to get a nozzle for that if you fill it from one of those bottles. A little cubby in the door. This seat also, I'm guessing the drivers might as well, I don't know. Give you a little better access there. See, the new way's a little bit different, but it's got same kind of hydraulic fill. Shut off is there. Ah, yellow springs on the bottom instead of green springs on the top. I have no clue what that means. Looks like they put you an extra work light here. And this new way's the guys who make this body. This is some kind of a tool holder. See up there, you can drop a rake or a shovel. So it's pretty much just like a car transmission with the...
Yep. It's like driving a pickup.
Yeah. My wife said, make sure the air conditioning works good. I can tell her it does. Cranked from nothing and this is immediately blowing out cold air. Here's the... Okay, so it does tilt out a little bit. Yeah. What's the furthest thing that sticks out on this rig? Is it the mirrors?
Yes. Okay,
so if your mirrors are clearing whatever, you're okay behind it.
If your mirrors make a pass, you're great.
That'll be good for my wife too, because with the trailer is a little bit wider than the... All right, so I really have no clue what the last thing I filmed was. I've been talking to guys inside for like the last hour and a half, but it went really well here. Again, this was RDK Truck Sales at Tampa. Let me get a picture of the sign for you. These guys, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say they have hundreds of trucks on this lot. My goodness, they've got stuff everywhere. It's a huge operation. So that's them. So if you need a trash truck, the pricing that they're running, at least on the ones I want, are pretty crazy. So they could probably do a good deal for you too. This isn't sponsored. They don't know I'm making this video. Just saying they've got good pricing.